He is known as the voice of the Russian invasion of Ukraine. He sang the Russian national anthem on the Red Square in the center of Moscow alongside Vladimir Putin. And he is ready to push the red button for the atomic bomb. He also makes quite a bit of money. Meet Shaman, the singer who rose to popularity in Russia during the war in Ukraine. In no small way because of the war. And this is not the only story of success of its kind. The easiest way to make it as an artist in Russia these days is to join the Z choir. You might be surprised that we've decided to dedicate a full episode of our anti-propaganda show Fake News to Russian artists. That is because they often become part of the Russian propaganda machine. My name is Valeria Ratnikova. Let's get started. We will start with Shaman, a 31-year-old singer. Russian Public Opinion Research Center, VCO, calls him the most popular male performer in Russia. He spent several years trying to build a successful career as an artist. However, it was the war in Ukraine that helped him break through. Shaman, aka Yaroslav Dronov, presents himself as a patriotic Orthodox artist. Shortly before and during the war, he released several songs that became instant hits among the pro-Kremlin Russian public. For instance, these are songs "Stand Up" and "I'm Russian." These titles speak for themselves. In the latter track, the chorus consists of the following lines: "Warning, might induce facepalming."
Я русский! Я русский! И мне повезло! Я русский! Всему миру назло!
How would you rate the subtlety on that one? Please let us know in the comments. After the war began, Shaman released a music video called "My Fight," allegedly shot on the battlefields of the so-called special military operation, as the war is called in official Russian media. Startling revelations awaited the viewers who turned on German subtitles. Mein Kampf, a reference to Adolf Hitler's manifesto. In another one of Shaman's music videos, titled "Us," where the singer strolls the Red Square, disgruntled viewers noticed more stylistic resemblances to Nazi Germany. So, does it pay off to cheer on troops while miming actual Nazis? Short answer, yes. According to the investigative media outlet Important Stories, Shaman not only became more popular during the war, but also wealthier. The singer's earnings have reached at least 100 million rubles between March of 2022 and September of 2023. Around €1 million. Now let's dig deeper into the ins and outs of show business during wartime in Russia. In short, the Kremlin's logic can be summarized in the following way. If you oppose Putin's regime, your concerts will be cancelled throughout the country. Indeed, the Kremlin exercises control over concert venues in Russia and might even initiate legal action against anyone they dislike. If you remain silent, or better yet, openly support the government, you will remain untouched and all opportunities on television will be open for you. This is Luzhniki Sports Stadium, the main sports arena in the country. This venue, much like the Red Square, frequently hosts concerts organized by the Kremlin to promote its own agenda.
Я не убоюсь полокоть руки в кровь запачкать. Это война, и не мы ее начали.
Народ и армия едины.
Not everyone attends these events willingly. The audience is often made up of extras, students, or employees of state institutions. Basically, people that can be manipulated with money. Artists who perform there are just like Shaman. Their rhetoric is strikingly similar as they express support for the war in Ukraine. And this support pays off. For example, last May, in various Russian regions, a marathon called For Russia, За Россию, took place. According to the calculations of journalists from BBC Russia, Kremlin's entities spent 100 million rubles on artists' fees in organizing these events.
Сидя на своих местах, я боюсь, враг слишком быстро справится с вами. Только стоя, уверенно на двух ногах, с поднятой головой можно славить свою родину. Я не разглядел, ни один из вас не встал. Когда речь идет о родине,
Another type of rounds that these pro-government artists have to do is visiting the occupied Ukrainian territories. Allow me to introduce you to another Russian singer, Larisa Dolina. She is a jazz and pop singer who spent her childhood in the city of Odessa in Ukraine. When the war started, Dolina remained silent for several months, but eventually expressed her support for the Russian army and soon went on to perform in Donbass, where she pushed the narrative about mythical fascists in Ukraine.
Свободолюбивые народы, и мы, и народ Донбасса, и не приемлем ни в каком виде диктат, нацизм, фашизм. Мы знаем, что сейчас творится в мире, как люди хотят, не люди, я не знаю даже, как их назвать, переписать историю. И мы не дадим этого сделать.
Another investigative media outlet, Agency, reported that following the onset of the war, Larisa Dolina received at least 92 million rubles, also around €1 million, from the government, as payment for her performances or in the form of grants for a music school she runs. Notably, her income from the government during wartime was 3 times higher than that in the previous year. Larisa Dolina is a celebrity veteran who has been supporting Vladimir Putin's regime for many years. Even during the bloodshed that is the war in Ukraine, artists like her remained loyal to the Kremlin. You wouldn't want to risk these paychecks for a bit of morale, right? There is another group of artists in Russia, those who have changed their views. One notable example is the popular artist Sergey Lazarev, who represented Russia at the Eurovision Song Contest in 2016. When the Russian army started their full-scale invasion of Ukraine, the artist made the following statement.
A week ago, my 7-year-old son woke up in tears. When I asked what happened, he replied, "Dad, I am afraid of war." I replied, "Sunshine, what are you talking about? You don't have to worry. There will be no war. And here we are, damn it. Today a real war has begun. What the hell are you doing?"
Just a few weeks later, he changed his mind. He took part in Shaman's music video for his track Stand Up. And to make this transformation complete, he visited Ukrainian kids who were taken captive by the Russian army.
I have always tried to help people to the best of my ability, so this initiative is not a one-time thing. With my fan clubs, we help children all over the world. I do it simply because I can't do otherwise. I teach my own children that they must help others, and that good always triumphs over evil.
For the Kremlin, the occupied Donbass region plays a role of a sort of mercy seat. A trip there is a sign of allegiance to the regime. Perhaps the most unexpected artist to make such a trip was the singer Roma Zver, leader of the pop-rock band Zveri. As a child, the Russian singer actually lived in Ukraine, specifically in the city of Mariupol, the city that the Russian army virtually wiped off the face of the earth. Additionally, Roma Zver supported anti-Putin protests in Russia and distanced himself from the government. Here's what he said in an interview with TV Rain in December of 2018.
Меня нельзя поймать на том, что я какая-то проститутка политическая.
Но в Киеве не очень многие российские звезды выступают.
Да,
вы знаете.
Именно по этой причине.
А как вас там воспринимает украинская публика?
Нормально, абсолютно, потому что, я еще раз говорю, мы не занимаемся политикой.
His anti-war stance also became a problem. His performances got cancelled. He had to act. And in the fall of 2023, he visited Donbas, a genuine shock to many of his fans.
Наслаждайся своими победами, говори, разгоняй, что ты слабая, не лечи меня, детка, советами.
In conclusion, I'd like to briefly introduce you to the other side of Russian show business. These artists have openly condemned the war in Ukraine and have mostly fled Russia. Among them are such popular artists as Zemfira, Noize MC, Face and Monetochka, who even held concerts in support of Ukrainian refugees. Legends of the Russian rock scene like Andrei Makarevich and Boris Grebenshchikov, Alla Pugacheva, the prima donna of the Soviet and later Russian pop scene, also became an outcast. When her husband, the entertainer and former host on state television Maxim Galkin, was labeled as a foreign agent in Russia, Pugacheva wrote the Russian soldiers were dying in Ukraine for illusory goals, and that Russia was becoming a global outsider. Artists who have left Russia are constantly getting stigmatized on state-owned television.
Что касается этих, между прочим, всех этих артистов, так сказать, да, всевозможных, ну, елки-палки, мы из них сделали героев. Мы их раздули до полубогов. Я на езде, так сказать, вот опять же, по нашим войсковым частям и по вот Донбассу, вот там реальные герои.
That's all for now. My name is Valeria Ratnikova, and this is Fake News, the show where we disprove Russian state propaganda. Please give this video a like and subscribe to our channel. See you next time for more insanity.